Imagine a world where innocence collides with unspeakable darkness, where the unthinkable becomes reality. These are stories of teenagers young, impressionable, and full of potential who committed crimes so chilling they shocked entire nations. What drives someone so young to cross the line into unimaginable violence? From twisted motives to harrowing courtroom revelations, these cases blur the line between childhood and monstrosity. Buckle up, because these tales of teenage killers will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about human nature. Number 10. Lionel Tate, the wrestling killer. In 1999, 12-year-old Lionel Tate shocked the world with his disturbing actions in Broward County, Florida. Tate claimed he was imitating professional wrestling moves when he inflicted fatal injuries on 6-year-old Tiffany Unick, a friend of his family. However, the extent of Tiffany's injuries was anything but playful. The autopsy revealed a litany of injuries, including a fractured skull, broken ribs, and a lacerated liver. Tate's defense argued that the killing was unintentional, but the severity of the violence suggested otherwise. Initially, Tate was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole, making him the youngest American ever to receive such a sentence. The case sparked intense debate about how juveniles should be treated in the justice system, leading to his sentence being overturned on appeal. Tate's later life remained troubled, as he faced multiple arrests for unrelated crimes, proving that his issues ran far deeper than one tragic event. Number 9. James Parker and Robert Tulloch, the Dartmouth murders. In 2001, New Hampshire was shaken by the gruesome murders of Dartmouth College professors Half and Suzanne Zontop. Teenagers James Parker, 16, and Robert Tulloch, 17, meticulously planned the killings, posing as students conducting a survey to gain access to the couple's home. Once inside, they attacked with knives, brutally stabbing the Zontops to death. The motive? A bizarre plan to fund their escape to Australia by stealing the couple's credit cards. The senselessness of the crime horrified the community and captured national attention. Tulloch received a life sentence without parole, while Parker, who cooperated with investigators, was sentenced to 25 years to life. The case highlighted the chilling capacity for premeditated violence in adolescence, raising questions about psychological factors that drive such behavior. Number 8. James Fairweather, the Colchester killer. At just 15 years old, James Fairweather committed 2 horrific murders in 2014, terrorizing the town of Colchester, Essex. His first victim, James Atfield, was a man with a brain injury who was stabbed over 100 times. 3 months later, Fairweather attacked Nahid Almania, a Saudi student, stabbing her 16 times while she walked along a footpath. Fairweather claimed he was driven by voices in his head, but his chilling level of detachment from the crimes left investigators and the public stunned. After being arrested, Fairweather showed no remorse and even described his actions with a sense of pride. He was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 27 years. The case remains one of the most harrowing examples of teenage violence in recent UK history. Number 7. Sandy Charles, the Warlock-obsessed killer. In 1995, 14-year-old Sandy Charles committed one of the most bizarre and gruesome murders in Canadian history. Influenced by the horror movie Warlock, Charles lured 7-year-old Jonathan Thimpson into the woods of La Ronge, Saskatchewan. Believing he could gain the ability to fly by consuming the boy's body fat, Charles brutally murdered and mutilated the young boy with the help of an 8-year-old accomplice. The sheer depravity of the crime shocked Canada, sparking discussions about the influence of violent media on impressionable minds. Charles was found not criminally responsible due to severe mental illness and was committed to a psychiatric facility. Decades later, the case remains a chilling reminder of the potential dangers of untreated mental health issues in youth. Number 6. Joshua Phillips, the monster under the bed. In 1998, 14-year-old Joshua Phillips committed an unimaginable crime in Jacksonville, Florida. after accidentally striking his 8-year-old neighbor, Maddie Clifton, with a baseball bat. Phillips panicked and decided to kill her to cover up the accident. He hid Maddie's body under his bed, where it remained for days until his mother discovered it. The shocking revelation of Maddie's body led to Phillips' arrest and eventual conviction for first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. The case raised important questions about the psychological factors driving teenagers to commit such heinous acts and whether society should offer pathways for rehabilitation. Number 5. Alyssa Bustamante, the thrill killer. Alyssa Bustamante's case is as chilling as it is heartbreaking. In 2009, the 15-year-old lured her 9-year-old neighbor, Elizabeth Olton, into the woods near their homes in St. Martins, Missouri. Bustamante strangled, stabbed, and slashed Elizabeth's throat before burying her in a shallow grave she had dug days earlier. Her motive? She wanted to know what it felt like to kill someone. This chilling admission, written in her diary, left the courtroom and the nation horrified. Bustamante was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole, sparking debates about whether young offenders should be sentenced as adults for premeditated crimes. The sheer brutality of her actions, coupled with her young age, made this case one of the most infamous of its kind. Number 4. Eric Smith, the redhead murderer. In 1993, 13-year-old Eric Smith lured 4-year-old Derek Roby into a wooded area in Steuben County, New York, with the intention of killing him. Smith brutally beat and strangled the young boy, leaving his body battered and lifeless. The murder shocked the small community, particularly because of Smith's age and the lack of any apparent motive. The trial revealed that Smith had been bullied for his appearance and red hair, and psychologists argued that his actions stemmed from pent-up rage. Smith was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to the maximum term for juveniles at the time. After serving 27 years, Smith was granted parole in 2021, sparking fresh debates about the rehabilitation of juvenile offenders and whether they can ever truly atone for their crimes. Number 3. Mary Bell, the Tyneside Strangler. In 1968, 11-year-old Mary Bell shocked the UK and the world by strangling 2 young boys, Martin Brown, 4, and Brian Howe, 3, in Newcastle upon Tyne. Bell's disturbing actions were accompanied by her troubling behavior, such as leaving cryptic notes and returning to the scene of the crimes. During her trial, it was revealed that Bell had suffered severe abuse and neglect, leading to questions about the psychological damage inflicted by her environment. Convicted of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility, Bell served 12 years before being released with a new identity. Her case remains a haunting example of how a traumatic childhood can lead to unimaginable consequences. Number 2. Aiden Fucci, the Snapchat Slayer. In 2021, 14-year-old Aiden Fucci brutally murdered his classmate, 13-year-old Tristan Bailey, in St. Johns County, Florida. Fucci stabbed Tristan 114 times, with many of the wounds concentrated on her head and neck. The shocking nature of the crime was amplified by Fucci's disturbing Snapchat posts while in police custody, where he appeared to mock the situation. Fucci's lack of remorse extended beyond his arrest, with chilling details about how he had plotted the attack for weeks. The community was left reeling, struggling to understand how someone so young could commit such a heinous act. The court proceedings further revealed a pattern of troubling behavior, including bullying and violent tendencies. In March 2023, Fucci was sentenced to life in prison, with the judge emphasizing the depravity of his actions. The case underscored the dangers of unchecked violence, the importance of addressing behavioral issues early, and the devastating impact such crimes have on victims' families and entire communities. Number 1. Columbine shooters, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. No list of disturbing teenage murders would be complete without mentioning the Columbine High School massacre in 1999. Eric Harris, 18, and Dylan Klebold, 17, carried out one of the deadliest school shootings in American history. killing 12 students and a teacher before taking their own lives. The duo meticulously planned the attack, documenting their intentions in journals and homemade videos. Their motives included a mix of revenge, hatred, and a desire for infamy. The tragedy profoundly impacted school safety policies and sparked debates about gun control, mental health, and the influence of violent media. Over 2 decades later, Columbine remains a grim symbol of the potential for devastating violence among youth. That's a wrap for today's video. If these shocking stories left you speechless, there's so much more where that came from. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're intrigued, and make sure to subscribe for more mind-blowing content. Share this video with your friends and start a conversation about these chilling tales. And hey, drop a comment below. What case surprised you the most? See you in the next video.